Hi everybody, Jo here. Thanks for joining me again. It's Monday, so it's time for our little crafty catch up. Now, I know some of you are busy, so it might not even be Monday. So whatever day we're spending time together, I hope you can just sit comfortably, relax, grab that brew, and like I say, let's spend some time together. I hope you're feeling okay. If not, I'm going to send you a little hug. Do you know what? I love this family on here, and that's what's so important. We're all here to support each other. January can be quite a hard month, so let's just spend some time and forget about what's going on in the world, and we'll lose ourselves. Now, today I'm going to be completing a page in my journal. Now, as you know, I've really enjoyed this journaling journey, and it's lovely to be able to join in with you, and so lovely to see all your pictures on social media. Thank you for sharing them, because it really does inspire other crafters. You see, sometimes in crafters' heads we have words like journaling, like mixed media, and it can be a bit daunting, a bit frightening. But you know what? Even if you don't do the journaling, and I have to say thank you to two ladies in particular who've actually commented that they're not doing a journal, but they love the designs and they're using them in the card making. Sometimes I think we pigeonhole things and we shouldn't. Everything I do in my journal is a technique that you could use on a card. You can make a card design. You can even make yourself some card designs, one to go on a card, one to go in your journal. You know, like I say, it's not just about journaling, it's about ideas, putting things down on paper, sometimes just how to use a product. Now, one of the questions I've been asked recently is, when I'm cleaning my stencils, I tend to clean them in my journal, so that gives me spaces and pages with a background already done. And a few of you have messaged and said, please can I show you how to use these up. So for example, if I open my journal here, and I do love your comments and I do try and answer them, so thank you for that. I've got a double page spread here, and I have to say my bookmark is so useful for keeping my spaces, my pages in my journal. And on here, if we pop the bookmark to one side, we have, she says, so many one sides in this craft room. We have one side of my journal, and this was a clean up. I think that the stencil here is flurry, and that had a little bit of ink on. And we've sort of got greens, oranges, browns. And then on the opposite side, so the other week when we had to play with the stamping foam, and what I did was I used the White Orbs stencil, and I had to go at just stamping. Now, if you're not sure about the stamping foam, refer back at a couple of Technique Tuesdays ago. I used the stamping foam and with stencils, and if you join me again tomorrow, we're going to use it with stamps. Fabulous stuff. If you've not tried it, honestly, fabulous. So this was just a background I made, and again, it's just a random background. So when I have these pages, what I tend to do is look through my PhDs. Now, we've all got PhDs. I bet you didn't know you had a PhD, did you? And that's project half done. So we'll pop our stencil. Do you know what? I'm going to have to file it on the floor. I've no space. Sorry, Eric. I have a little folder of projects half done. And these can be ones that maybe I've used in my Technique Tuesdays. And what I do is I look through them. They could be, you know, the backgrounds. You save your backgrounds. I remember these, you know. That one, do you remember that was the mica minerals? And as I say, these are all toppers that could go on a card or could go in my journal. Oh, look, here's some more backgrounds using the stamping foam. So I do keep every single one of these, look. And I find this one was a simple one using the beautiful tape we've got. Now again, that could be for a card, or it could be when Mr. Mojo's gone and I want to think of what design could I use. I need a quick, simple card. That, lovely. And that would make a fantastic congratulations card, wouldn't it? Anyway, I digress. But again, if Mr. Mojo's gone, just looking through some work like this can entice him back. So I'm thinking today, I think we've got one of our that we did last week with the oranges, and I think that'll go really well. And I'm thinking of teaming it up with the one I did in just black and white and monochrome. Now again, if I only had this one, I could easily stamp myself one to go with it, and we can use the two together. So that's a little tip. So for example, as I say, if you just have a very colourful one, blended background like this, stamp yourself one, same stamps, just in black and white. So I think we'll use those two today. So I'll put all these back in here. Nothing's ever wasted, is it? We're crafters, we save everything. Now, just going to give my mat a bit of a wipe. I should have really cleaned it before you came in, so I'm sorry I didn't do my housework. But that's a bit of one of those words, isn't it? I'm not keen on that word, the old housework word, even in my craft space. Right, that's a bit better. Now, the other thing I fancy including, sometimes when you're doing a journal or a little bit like scrapbooking, a few ladies have contacted me saying they do scrapbooking and it's given them an insight into journaling, so they're now starting journaling. I fancy using my fabulous metallic polish here. And what I want to do is, I'm afraid I'm one of those people, I collect coffee stirrers. Will I ever think about lollipop sticks, coffee stirrers, anything like that? And I'm thinking I fancy using a couple. Look at these fancy ones. One of our lovely crafters, Janet and Susan, they sent me these. You can get all different shapes, and Claire sent me a lovely box of these. And again, if Mr. Mojo's gone, it's a good time to do things like tidying your stamps up, looking through your inks, but also for me, because I love these lovely little wooden bits, great time to add some colour. And I'm thinking, which one's this? So this is the Copper Shine gilding polish, metallic gilding polish. It works really well on these. And I'm thinking I could add a couple of these into my journal. So just a couple of things with the metallic gilding polish to remind you. Lid comes off, the applicator is in the handle. I know a couple of ladies recently asked on Lavinia about an applicator. Well, it's in the handle. And very simply, I tend to have a bit of a slide on mine. I find it easier to just pop it to the side, look. And then all you do is cover the wood. You don't need to prime it. You don't need to... I tend to do mine in mid-air. I find it's lovely. But you could put it on your mat and just literally straight across, look. So there's that one. And if you're a bit of a loose end, it's a lovely thing to do. And then when you get in your craft room, say get to your journal, you could do these all different colours. You could then look and see how to use them, and it might inspire you to start a page. I'm thinking, and again, you could, if you wanted, obviously turn it over, do the back. I'm sticking the back down, so I'm not going to. Couple little housekeeping tips though, but sorry, I just need to wipe my hand. You know what I'm like. Oh. Mr. Inky Binky's knocking everything on the floor. Before you put this away, because it's a water-based product, it can dry out slightly. So we always recommend the night-night routine. So move this out of the way. And the night-night routine is you go night-night. And then pop the lid on. And that way it just won't be dry next time. But also, these beautiful soft foam applicators, they can dry a little bit as well. So I would always recommend just one. You only need one squirt on that. And then click it back in and make sure it does click. Because again, if it doesn't click, it could dry out. And then you can put that safely to bed, knowing that next time you come to use it, it'll be perfect. And again, I like to use I don't like to put it on my Lavinia mat, only because I'm very precious over my Lavinia mat. You know what I'm like. So we'll move that over here, and then this keeps nice and clean. So let's bring our journal back. And as I say, this is just the way my head tends to work. So what I'm thinking is, because these pages, this is quite a light background and this is quite a full-on background, what I'm thinking is I could pop these two this way, look. See, for me, I think this way is too much colour and that's too pale, not enough. But I think if we put them this way, we've instantly got that stands out more and this stands out more. Now, the next question is, do we have them in the middle or do we offset them? Now, we could have them both, or we could... I quite like that. I could do opposite. Sometimes, even if you set on a design, move it just to check, reaffirm yourself that, yeah, see, I don't like that. I do like that, actually. So it's good to have a play, move things around. And I think that is definitely... I don't need to do much because, as I say, this background is here ready. And it's all about using what you have got. And what I'm thinking is if I bring in my lovely lollipop coffee stirrer stick things, and I think the colours will go, now that there, and then or do I put, no, see, that's too uniform for me. I quite like it that way. And with a journal, you can add things. You can just play. But I like that. So I'm going to stick these in because I'm happy with that. Now, as you know, I'm a belt and braces girl. So I like to use some tape and my Lavinia glue. But we're all different. We all have... So I'll pop some glue on there. And then I'm thinking we shall just add that there. Lovely. And we'll do the same over this side. Because I don't really need to add anything more to the background. Maybe just some splats is what I'm thinking. But I'll see how we go. And as I say, it's a lovely way of looking through. I hope you save all your little projects. I'm sure you do. Us crafters, we don't like to throw anything away, do we? And I'm thinking that one there. Now I do need a sentiment. So I'm not going to stick these down because I'm not exactly sure. Oh, look. Oh, see, I quite like that. Not exactly sure that they're going to go there. So we'll do a little bit of stamping. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment art from the heart because I think that would go really well with this. And again, I keep all my little pieces of card. So we'll use the black, the permanent, the nocturne. And again, every little bit of card I keep. Like I say, I'm sure you're the same. I'm going to put that to one side. And also I want to stamp some butterflies because I'm thinking this beautiful mini, the little pound butterfly, will be perfect. And again, look, little scrap of paper. So the other thing, if Mr. Mojo's gone on holiday, I mean, I love butterflies. Maybe choose one of your stamps, like say the butterfly, the pound stamp. Stamp it out a few times and colour it and then cut it out. because that way you've got some ready-made toppers. And don't worry, I have got some here, look, that I've already cut and coloured out. So you're not going to have to sit and watch me do all of them. But, you know, if Mr. Mojo's gone, that can help bring him back as well. So let's just give that a blot. And, you know, especially at this time of year, if you've got a lot on your mind, colouring is such a lovely thing to do. I'll pop the lid on the glue, pop that over there. So we're going to use our watercolour pencils, but I'm not actually going to use them as watercolour pencils. I'm literally just going to colour with them. So we're not adding water. You can see which of my favourite ones look. Now, what I'm going to do, because my page is very sort of orange orientated, my main pencil is going to be orange. And all I'm going to do is colour the wing. We'll just do 2. And that's my main orange colour. Do you know what? No, we'll do them, because I can't leave 2 not coloured, can I? Because if I colour them now, then they're ready to use in another project. And then I'm going to choose some other colours. So orange is my main theme running through, but I want to introduce some other colours. So this one, let's add a bit of blue. And I'm just going to go right up, but not over the orange. And as I say, these are my lovely watercolour pencils, but we're just using them as normal colouring pencils. So again, you don't need to press too hard. And I love this green. It's sort of a lovely citrusy type green. Let's go for, oh, pink. Let's see what pink looks like. Pink and orange. It's an unusual combination, but it does work well. Sometimes it's nice to almost have clashing colours together. Ooh, what should we go for? Should we go for yellow? I think the yellow might be a bit pale, but we'll see. And then what I'm going to do, there's a lighter orange. So just over where the colours meet, just to blend that, I'm just going to go in with the lighter orange. And for me, that just finishes it off. And if you look, you do get a slight area where the 2 colours, and to me, it just blends it beautifully. So if I do one wing, the orange into the green. So this is the lighter orange, and I'm not going right over the whole of the green, just where, can you see the difference? So this side's blended, this side isn't. And it's just, for me, quite a quick and effective way of colouring. But also, it's just a way of saying that, you know, these are the watercolour pencils, but you don't have to add water. I mean, obviously, they're fabulous when you do, but you don't have to. I actually like the butterflies just this way for this particular design. And as I say, you know what, if Mr. Mojo's gone or you're feeling a bit fed up, just sitting and colouring butterflies, it is so lovely. In fact, I've got to be mindful not to keep doing it, because I could quite happily get my coffee and sit here for the afternoon with you and just colour and chat. You know, what could be nicer? Spending time together, just colouring and chatting. I think that is just wonderful. Now, to cut these out, now, no butterflies are hurting this, so please don't get upset, but the antennae are going. I shall draw them back in, so the butterfly can still fly, so don't panic. But for cutting out, they've got to go. In my book, anyway. We can easily draw them back. But I don't want anything that's difficult to cut out. You know me, I'm all for an easy life. There we go, quick whiz round that. Lovely. Beautiful. Imagine you could put glossy accents on that and just leave it to one side to let it dry. That would make beautiful embellishments, wouldn't it? And do you know what? It's just occurred to me, I've got one of these fabulous Lavinia tins that I haven't used yet. Now, I could make some butterflies and put them in there, and then I would have some embellishments ready. So that's something else you could do. If you haven't got glossy accents, you know, why not put some Versamark and then some clear embossing? And that again would give a shine if you wanted. Just create yourself some embellishments. Now, let's get back to our journal. I've got to reach it off the floor. I think my arms have got shorter over Christmas because my floor definitely seems further away. Right, so now I do like that there. I may not actually put that other one on. I may just leave it on here, you know. I think it looks too symmetrical if I put, so I'm going to leave that one for another day. Now, my art from the heart. I'm wondering whether to actually split it. Let me have a think. So what I'm thinking is, I'm going to cut it here. And I'm going to go art from the, I like threes. We like threes, don't we? So I think that would be a good art from the, and then the heart. And what I'm thinking is putting that here and almost making this the focal point. I like that. So let's get some glue. So I'm going to put my middle one in first. I just find that easy, and we're going to put that one there, and then I can move my two. Check it's right, art from the heart, yes. Because I do have a habit of, have you ever done, put the wrong one? I don't want heart from the art, do I? I'm thinking, yeah. Right, and let's just put our coffee stirrer in as well. And again, this isn't too thick. It won't make our pages too thick, but it's nice to have some inclusions. You just want something in here that'll just... Now, obviously, the glue does take a couple of minutes. So normally I would put my paperweight on that, just to let it. Now, so I need my fine liner, just to give myself a bit of a border round here. And again, I just do a squiggle. If you want to do a straight line, if you want to, you could mat and layer your sentiment if you wanted. I just want that nice sort of drawn border. I think that's nice. I think we'll have a bit of a... just to tie the whole thing in. Now, I'm going to bring my butterflies in, but first of all, I just want to add a few little splats. And it's what colour to go for. I think the white might show up more. I'm going to bring my white, and let's see. I've got a couple of pens on the go at the minute, and some are giving me nicer splats than others. I want it on here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that shows up nicely. So we'll just take a few across the topper and a few across this one. Now, again, I just want to see if I can get a few. Let me just pump it up a bit. Sometimes I just want, oh, that's better, a couple of runs of a nice big splat. There we go. And you'll find if it won't, just give it a little pump, because after all, it is a pump action. Oh, look at that. I was trying to put the lid of my glue on my Posca pen. I wondered why it didn't go. Obviously, put the right lid on, missus. So we'll just wipe that up. And let's go for some butterflies. Now, I think a butterfly on here would look lovely. So that's the first one we shall put on. And let's just put that one that way. And again, what this will do is tie the butterfly into the whole design. So it won't look like, why have you got a random coffee stirrer? And then we'll place a few, and then I can possibly, I'm thinking one there. One here. Yeah, see, that's enough on that side. If I just show you, what do you think? See, I like that on there. I'm not even going to change that. What I do need to do is draw the antennae on, isn't it? See, it's a good job you're shouting at me. Not sure if they'll draw on here. Let's just 1, 2. Good job I've got a bit of wiggle time with my glue. There we go. Do the same on here. I think I've got glue on my... So I need a spare piece of card. Here we go. That's better. There we go. Draw that in. And then let's look at this side. 3, good number to have on this side. Now, what do you think? I think maybe the green one would work. Oh, maybe coming off, that would be quite nice, wouldn't it? Sort of half on, half off. Maybe that. And then, do you know what? I think it needs something there. So what I'm thinking is, if I get my lovely packet of stickers, moments like these, I do love that. I think that would just be perfect on here. So if I just peel that off, these are so useful, these stickers. And again, get my scissors. Oh, that's too low. Yeah, what do you think about there? What do you think? Should we go for that? Back fine liner again. Just to edge it. We'll have a bit of a squiggle on this one, I think. Yeah, I like that. So what I'm going to do this time is, this is where you learn, isn't it? I'm going to draw the antennae before I put the glue on, because obviously that's what happened last time. Got glue on my pen and it didn't really work. So I'm going to let that dry and I'll go over that again. But it's good how we learn these things. So I think it's easier. There we go. Put the antenna. Yeah, that works better. So it's good how we can learn together. See, I bet you were shouting at me, telling me. I bet you've already done that, haven't you? And again, the bippity boppity glue just takes a minute, so it does give you a bit of wiggle time. We'll just hold that one there. And I like that the way it's coming off. I like the 3 together. So let's have a look. And I've got to be honest, I think I'm not going to add anything else to that. For me, they are just such pretty pages. But as I say, if you're you know, you're not a scrapbooker or a journaling person, just maybe take the design, maybe add one of these to your card. Maybe look at doing a monochromatic card and then just adding some colour with a butterfly. You know, have you got these stamps and not used them? Have you got lots of backgrounds where you've cleaned your stencil and you don't know what to do with them? Maybe look at marrying them up with a half-finished project and creating a few cards. You know, at this time of year when Mr. Mojo goes, it's good as well to feel we're using up our half-finished projects and those backgrounds that we keep. Because if we're not careful, we'll end up with more backgrounds and more half-finished projects, won't we, than anything? So I do find there's something quite satisfying about finishing this and thinking, yeah, I really like that. And I love my stickles on here. I think that's just perfect. I do want something here, but I'm not sure what. So rather than spoil it, I'm going to leave it. But I'm quite thinking a mouse hanging from there. But sometimes you need to walk away. So I'm going to call that finished for today. And I'll decide what I think. Or maybe a hanging heart. I think maybe to go with that, maybe a hanging heart. But I'm going to leave it, walk away, have my coffee, and then come back. Because sometimes that's the best thing to do. So I hope you've enjoyed that. And I hope it gives you an idea of what to do with those backgrounds. And also, do keep cleaning your stencil in your journal or on your card. Because they are so useful. You take care. Oh, stamping foam and stamps tomorrow. So pop back. Enjoy your evening. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.